141 of the Evidence Act provides that any question suggesting the answers which the person putting it wishes or expects to receive is called leading questions. Section 141 of the Evidence Act provides that any question suggesting the answers which the person putting it wishes or expects to receive is called leading questions. A question suggesting the answer which the person putting it wishes or expect to receive. Section 141 of the Evidence Act provides that any question suggesting the answer which is person putting it wishes or expect to receive is called a leading question. Right to fair legal aid was recognized as a fundamental right. Right to fair legal aid was recognized as a fundamental right. Legal aid. M.H. Huskott versus State of Maharashtra. Who among the following cannot transfer an immovable property? Natural guardian of a minor. Who among the following cannot transfer a immovable property? For what duration is a woman entitled to live with? For what duration is a woman entitled to live with wages for tuberculosis operation? Live with as per the Maternity Benefit Act. 1961 2 weeks. A woman entitled to live with a wage for tuberculosis operation. As per Maternity Benefit Act, 2 weeks. Which should be the minimum number of work. Which should be the minimum number of workers originally employed in any factory for having at least one canteen in the factory as per Factories Act short studies. 250 workers. Which should be the minimum number of workers originally employed in any factory. One canteen in the factory. Who among the following is not included in the definition of a workman as per the Industrial Dispute Act? देश को बचाने के लिए कॉमन पर्सन स्टूडेंट्स देश विल कॉन्टेस्ट इलेक्शंस फार्मर्स अदरवाइज डिक्टेटर विल बी डोंट वोट ओनली पार्टीज इंडिपेंडेंस कैंडिडेट किसान गरीब को भी वोट दो स्टूडेंट्स शुड बी कॉन्टेस्ट जॉब सेलिंग इन एवरी स्टेट इंडिया एसएससी जॉब उड़ीसा राजस्थान यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विस सेलिंग तो देश को बचाने चुनाव लड़ो कॉन्टेस्ट इलेक्शंस कॉमन मैन 70 करोड़ गांव 7 लाख विलेजर्स कॉन्टेस्ट इलेक्शन पार्लियामेंट और विधानसभा लोकसभा फुल ऑफ फार्मर्स किसान स्टूडेंट्स गो चलो वहाँ पर एमपी एमएलए बनो स्टूडेंट किसान एमपी एमएलए बनो देश को बचाने के लिए स्विस बैंक आने के लिए Who among the following is not included in the definition of a workman as per the Industrial Dispute Act? Supervisor drawing monthly salary 6,000. Who among the following is definition of a workman as per the Industrial Dispute Act? A supervisor drawing monthly salary 6,000. A supervisor drawing monthly salary 8,000. Supervisor drawing monthly salary 10,000. Industrial Dispute Act. Who has defined tort as tortious liability arises from breach of the duty primarily fixed by law. This duty towards persons generally and it breach redressable by an action for unliquidated damages. It breach is redressable. The Winfield. Who has defined tort as tortious liabilities arises from breach of duty. ड्यूटी को ब्रीच करने से तोड़ने से फिक्स्ड बाय द लॉ दिस ड्यूटी इज टुवर्ड्स पर्सन जनरली इट्स ब्रीच इज रिड्रेसेबल बाय एन एक्शन फॉर अनलिक्विडेटेड डैमेजेस ग्रामर स्कूल केस रिलेट टू Which of the following important maxims? Gloucester Grammar School case relates to which of the following important maxims? Damnum sim injuria. Damnum sim injuria. Grammar School case relates to which of the following important maxims? Damnum sim injuria. Which of the following provision of a Motor Vehicle Act 1988 relates to no fault liability? Section 140. No fault liability. How many consumer rights are identified under the Consumer Protection Act 2019? How many consumer rights are identified? 6 consumer rights are identified under the Consumer Protection Act. Which of the following body constituted under the Consumer Protection Act 2019 is authorized to render advice on promotion and protection of consumers' rights under the Act? Which of the following body constituted under the Consumer Protection Act 2019 render advice on promotion and protection of consumer rights under Act? Central Consumer Protection Council. Central Consumer Protection Council. Central Consumer Protection Council. Which of the following provision Constitution of India states that no tax can be levied or collected except by authority of law? Article 265. No tax levied or collected except by authority of law. Without authority, without parliament, without discussions, no tax can be levied or collected. Which of the following would be passed previous year in the case of a business or profession newly set up 31st March 2020 as per the Income Tax Act 1961? Which of the following would be passed previous year in the case start from 31st March 2020 and will end 31st March 2020? Income Tax Act 1961. A person is said to be resident of India in any previous year. Actually, as per Income Tax Act 182 days, a person is said to be resident of India in any previous year if he had been in India for a period of following number of days in the previous year. 182 days. Resident of India. 182 days. Income is defined under which of the following provision of the Income Tax Act 1961? Section 224. Income is defined under which of the following provision of the Income Tax Act 1961? Income is defined under Section 224. Section 224. Which of the following is not a fraud as per the Indian Contract Act 1872? Not fraud. A promise made without intention of performing it. Contract Act. A promise made without intention. An active fraud. No. Without intent fraud. An active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge of the fact. Active concealment. Mere silence if not duty bound to speak. So mere silence if not duty not bound to speak. Any act or omission law specifically declares to be fraudulent. Any act or omission law specifically declares to be fraudulent. Mere silence, not fraud. Merely silence if not duty bound to speak. See, mere silence. Mere silence if not duty bound to speak is not a fraud. Under Section 17 of Indian Contract Act. Explanation of Section 17 of this Act said that mere silence as to facts like to be affect the willingness of persons. Silence, चुपचाप रहना, चुप्पी रहे. Willingness of person to enter into contact into fraud, not a fraud. Silence रहना fraud नहीं, unless the circumstances of the case are such that It is duty of the person keeping silence to speak, for unless his silence is in itself equivalent to speech. Which of the following statement is correct if A intending to deceive B? A deceive B falsely represent that 500 mounds of indigo are made annually A's factory, and he thereby induces B to buy the factory. Deceive part of A intending to deceive, उसको ठकाई करता है, गद्दारी. 500 mounds of indigo are made annually at A factory, and thereby induce B to buy the factory. Contract is avoidable at the option of B. Void. Falsely represent the 500 mounds of indigo are made annually. It is false. That if party to contract with the intent to deceive another party, that to induce him to enter into the contract, then his act will be fraud. Intentionally it is fraud, the act will be fraud. When consent to an agreement is caused by coercion, fraud or misrepresentation, the agreement is contract voidable, void at the option of the party whose consent was so caused. Consent so caused. Whose consent is